Okay, United head down to Fulham this afternoon or early evening. 7 o'clock kick-off down in London for the last Premier League game of the weekend. Last fixture on the list, and it's United in what is a very, very tough fixture. But on paper, Manchester United haven't done bad at Craven Cottage over the last few years. I think we've won the last 2 times we've been there. We've had a good record at home against Fulham as well. So all going into this game, it looks like United should feel confident. No, it's not. And not one Man United fan feels like this game is a given today, and nobody is taking Fulham lightly. We're going to look ahead to the game. We're going to go through the teams who we've actually seen on that train now, as new videos have emerged of Manchester United players getting on the train. So all the early fears of certain players that weren't first seen have been put to bed, because we have seen an Arna in goal, if that is going to comfort you, actually getting on the train. And we have seen Ahmad also getting onto that train as well. Wrapped up, obviously, in disguise a little bit, but it was Ahmad. So the man himself, the little maestro, is on that train and is available today. So that's good news. Obviously, we know that Marcus Rashford is not on the train. So we're going to get through all of that, talk about the teams, possible outcomes, what we're fearing, what we think might happen. We're going to bring you up to date on the transfer situation as well while we're at it, because I always like to do that and make sure that you are covered on everything that's going down. We've got a little bit of an update on Patrick Dorgu and Garnacho and Marcus Rashford. We'll go into detail on all the transfer news probably tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be the big development now. The rest of today, unless something massively significant comes out or breaks, then we're pretty much looking at Manchester United game day, everyone concentrating on Craven Cottage and this evening's game. It's huge for Manchester United, it really is. You can see the table at the bottom of your screen. You can see everything that this means today. This means United are closing the gap to the top 10. Well, it's better than being 13th. That's all I'll say. So we can close the gap to Fulham, who are in that 10th spot at the moment, and securely in that 10th spot. Nothing's going to change there. All we're doing is fighting with Palace, fighting with Brentford to try and get as close as we possibly can. Funnily enough, we have got Palace next in the Premier League as well. So we're playing teams in and around us at the middle of the table at the moment. So we need to take as many points as possible just to leapfrog them. And then we can maybe have a discussion about trying to attack the top 8 and the back end of the season. And I think we'd only say that is if we did get other players in, if significant movement was made in the transfer window. And on that front, before we get into today's game, let's give you the updates on everything that is going on with Manchester United's transfer situation right now. And that would be that Manchester United are actually right now looking at another bid for Patrick Dorgu. Now, we talked about this yesterday. Would United be tempted in? We talked about United considering it. Ben Jacobs has come out and said Manchester United are lining up the signing of Patrick Dorgu. A third offer is incoming, with the clubs being currently €5 million apart. United prepared to go higher with their offer. Their offer will be raised in add-ons, apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, who also talked about it this morning. United not walking away, even though Alvaro is there waiting. Bags packed, ready to go. Well, he's not. I'm just saying that just to make it sound a little bit more interesting. But United's top target is Dorgu right now, and it does look like another bid is going in on him imminently. And so, again, like leading into Monday, after the game today, it's all going to kick off this week. 1 week to go tomorrow in the transfer window. It looks like Dorgu news is probably going to come tomorrow. Garnacho news is probably going to come tomorrow, because we're hearing stories again. It is now looking more likely that Alejandro Garnacho will leave Manchester United rather than stay. It's just more and more noise coming out about Garnacho rather than anything significant. And I did say yesterday, I said also today, this morning show, that we're probably going to hear more news tomorrow regarding Garnacho and where we're at with Chelsea's offer. We're going to get to know exactly how much that is, what's happening. It's really interesting how so many parties have said there is a bid in and something has happened already and nobody knows about it. And maybe something like this is the reason why we should start thinking that the deal is getting closer, because if it comes out in public, it usually means that United are not bothered about it being out and they can just cut that deal off and say no thank you. I don't know how it's working, but we know that relationships are close between Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Chelsea. The levels at the top of both clubs are very close and the relationship is very good. We know that. So tomorrow we are looking like we're probably going to get the big update on Garnacho. Marcus Rashford is the interesting one though, because all of a sudden there has been a story pop out of absolutely nowhere saying that West Ham are now favourites. El Nacional in Spain, anyway, has come out with this story today, around about midday, which says West Ham have emerged as the unlikely frontrunners in the race to sign Marcus Rashford this month, largely because of the new manager, Graham Potter. Barcelona are not pleased by the forward's change of mind. Honestly, I'm just bringing you the story. You make what you want of it. I am just going to throw this into the BS basket. I can't see this being true. But as we said this morning, the update on Rashford is pretty much substantial in that he is willing to take a pay cut. And, of course, as we said yesterday with that news and that story yesterday morning, Rashford taking a pay cut has opened up avenues for Barcelona to now come to the table, which we then talked about this morning, which was about how much they can afford wage-wise. So what's Rashford taking away? What can Barcelona afford? And then Manchester United should step in and say, well, we're willing to pay this much and get this deal over the line, for God's sake. That's basically what's happened with Marcus Rashford. So as the days have gone on, a couple of days of talks about who's paying what, who's willing to pay what, and where we're actually going with it. And now we look like we're going to get a bit of an outcome. Well, we have to have an outcome this week anyway because the window's shut by the end of next week. So, really, right now, everybody's just watching what happens with Marcus and everybody's waiting for this big move and this big news because it's going to be substantial either way, like we've said. But that is pretty much what is going on with the transfers. Like I said, there will be more transfer updates coming tomorrow morning. Obviously, I will be live later, and if anything does break, we will be covering it. But I think it is all going to be game-based anyway with Fulham and the importance of this Premier League game with us today against them. And I just think it's one of them games where I wouldn't call it a free hit, but no one's expecting much. Everyone's already down on United. Everyone already thinks that we're already going to lose this game because of the way that we play in our form. But recently, well, in 2025 anyway, United have looked a little bit better when it comes to playing away from home. I think that's probably the best way to look at this game and say our away form is actually a bit better than our home form right now. So let's maybe look at that as a positive going into this game. But Fulham, I mean, you look at them, they are one of them teams that are hit and miss. 10th in the table, tells you everything you need to know. A mid-table team that can on their day beat anybody and on their day get smashed by anybody. And it just depends what's turning up today. But with Man United in town, the wounded animal, the best chance to play Manchester United in the worst form in their Premier League history, you're probably thinking that Fulham will turn up today. So what are United going to do about it? That's the question, and that's what every United fan is waiting to see. It's like, what's our reaction going to be today then? Are we going to see any extra effort today? Are we going to see that Bruno call that he said in the week after that game against Rangers when he came out in an interview and said the manager is right? We are the worst team when you look at the league in Manchester United's history. Not far away, but we are in the Premier League era, and that's enough for all Manchester United fans to be concerned about anything going on with the club right now. So when we look at it, we just say, well, let's just hope that Manchester United can give us a performance today. In terms of the team, like we said at the top of the show, now we're looking at the real video that's come out of the Manchester United players leaving. There was concerns yesterday that Ahmad and Onana wasn't there, Marcus Rashford wasn't there. Well, the only person who isn't there out of that trio is Marcus Rashford, like we've just said. Onana has been spotted, and so too has Amad Diallo. So no concerns there. Manchester United have everyone available that was available in the last game against Rangers, apart from Anthony, who has actually gone and left the club now, as we said, and as everyone has seen already anyway. But in terms of, did I actually ask anyone about that Anthony video from Real Betis and their sort of welcome video for Anthony? Yeah, kind of strange. Very strange, actually. But yeah, he's gone. We don't need to worry about Anthony anymore. He's a player that is no longer on Manchester United's books until the end of the season. He won't be featuring today, and United won't have as many forward options on the bench again. We are looking at a team that's pretty much set. The United's forwards are Ahmad, Garnacho, Xerxes and Højlund. And that, I think, is where United need to obviously invest. And I think that's what we're looking at. It's looking like loans through this window right now and then spending in the summer. We've talked about that. So who in this group of four forwards? We don't need to worry about Ahmad, but the other three are completely up. Like Garnacho, like we said, we're probably going to hear about him tomorrow. We're going to get updates on the Chelsea situation. We said also this morning that Manchester United are still in contact with Napoli and they still have hope of signing Garnacho. I honestly don't know how. If the rumours are true about the size of Chelsea's bid, Napoli do not stand a chance. The only thing that they would hope is that United would be reluctant to sell to Chelsea, being a direct rival. That's all I can think of. But past that, nothing else there that's really going to stop Manchester United letting Garnacho go to Chelsea. Definitely not. Super chat in from Tom says, didn't Sir Jim compare us to Fulham? Yeah, he did. He did. So I think this is going to be an even game then, is it? No. It is. It's that one came in on the Andy Mitten interview, didn't it? About the prices. What Fulham are paying, United should be paying. Doesn't work like that. It really doesn't, Sir Jim. And you're right in bringing that up, Tom, even though it is just a game today. But he did compare us to Fulham. So in his own way, he's dropping our standards a little bit, isn't he? But you know what I mean by that. It is all just what he was talking about financially. In terms of club size, let's not be stupid. We are massive compared to Fulham, aren't we? So, yeah, I think that's our reality look on it. I think financially, if Fulham are paying more money than us, but we're the bigger club, that's how Sir Jim sees it. But we all see it as everybody pays more down in London, and the cost of living is far greater than what it is in Manchester. So let's just cost according, I think, yeah, on that one. But going back to the forwards, actually, and what I was just saying there, with all of the information, we have heard about the likes of Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee possibly being options to leave United this summer as well. This January as well. I don't think that is going to happen, or United are going to have the chance to, even if they wanted to, release Zirkzee or Højlund right now. So you're looking at Ahmad today, you're looking at Højlund, Garnacho and Zirkzee. Who is going to play out of them? Who is going to be on the bench? Interesting to see if Garnacho does get any game time, as in from the bench today, or on the starting pit, or in the starting lineup. I think that one's... I don't think it's necessarily going to tell us anything to do with the transfer or anything like that. Say, for instance, if Garnacho didn't start, then you're looking at the rumour mill running with, clearly, he's been saved because he's been transferred to Chelsea or to Napoli or whatever it may be, whatever the situation that we're going to find out about. But I don't think that plays into it with Ruben Amorim. I think he's going to play Garnacho either way. I actually think he will start Garnacho today. I do. I think he played well against Rangers. Definitely his best performance under Ruben Amorim. And hopefully he can just use that and go forward. But this is where it's going to be the tester. It's all right doing it in a partisan crowd at Old Trafford under the floodlights in Europe when everything's going well and you've won a game and you're up against a poorer opposition. That's great. But this is when United fans are going to be looking at these players today at Fulham. They're going to be saying, well, you can do it on an easy night at Old Trafford. That's fine. But what we want you to do is do it away at Fulham on a Sunday evening. And that's a weird one. It used to be, can he do it on a cold night, on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke? Now it's, can you do it on a cold Sunday evening in bleeding Fulham? That's where our standards have dropped to. So that's the benchmark right now. But you know what I mean, don't you? Because this is obviously a tougher game for Manchester United. When you're coming up against Europa League competition, look, United are unbeaten in Europe this season. 7 games unbeaten, 4 wins, 3 draws. You can tell the opposition is not anywhere near Premier League standard. And United have got away with it because we haven't been great in that competition either. But we're hoping we can use momentum from that Rangers game going into today. But everybody's going to be watching. Right, can you do it for 2 games in a row? Can you give us a win now in the Premier League? Last time we won in Europe, we won in the Premier League the following fixture. That was Victoria Pilsen away, and then we played City away and won. Omens? I'm just picking out what I can and trying to stay positive in this today. But yes, the last time United won 2 games in a row in all competitions was Victoria Pilsen and then Manchester City. So let's see if we can do it again today. That's what I'm clinging on to anyway. It's not much, I know, but anything will do right now for United. And when you look at Garnacho, Højlund in particular, so out of everyone, he's the one who's getting away with the talk at the moment. I think Højlund needs to have a performance today. If he's on that pitch, he needs to do something for United today. His last goal, funnily enough, was that one in Victoria Pilsen. In that double when he came off the bench. Rashford's last game, in fact. There's quite a few marks on that I didn't even think about when I was actually picking out that moment. And the last time United actually won 2 in a row. But yeah, Rashford's last game, the last time that Garnacho and Højlund played together. No, actually it wasn't. So it's the last time that Højlund scored, the last time that Rashford played. This is where everything kicked off for Garnacho. This is where everything went wrong for Marcus Rashford as well. So quite poignant that we're going into it again off another good, well, decent European night beating Rangers. We need to carry that form forward, though. So, eyes on Garnacho, eyes on Højlund, eyes on Xerxes again. I think he's been doing all right. I just don't think he's a 9. I think he's better in the 10. It would be interesting today to see if he goes Xerxes and Højlund. As in Højlund as a 9. We've not seen this yet. So, Højlund 9, Xerxes 10. And then maybe Ahmad in a 10. And maybe splits the 2 wing-backs again in Dalot and Mazraoui, maybe. I prefer Mazraoui in the back 3. You all know that. So is he going to play Ahmad on the wing again? Interesting. Does that mean that Bruno goes in there into the 10 alongside Joshua Xerxes and Rasmus Højlund? You've got creation and something different there. I'll give you that. That is a completely different setup up front for Manchester United in this one. So when you look at that, I go, all right, do you know what? That might actually work. That could be something different that we've not seen yet. And for the sake of variety, let's give it a go. It might be the one that works. So on that one, we'll start with the front 3. Give me yours on what you would go with in the chat, everybody. I'm going to come to this now. Please keep liking the video, everybody. Already over 100 likes. We know that the warm-up show is not our biggest one, but still love all of you being in amazing numbers again, everybody. Make sure you have that subscribe button as well, everyone. Thank you, and let's get into the comments section. Red Baron, now it's cold night at the Emirates. 2-1 to United today. Rasmus with the winner, says Stephen. Can he do it? I haven't got the power, captain. I just can't do it. I don't have the power. No, we can't compete. This Amorim system doesn't work in the Premier League. We look badly exposed down the flanks. This Amorim system will work when he gets his players, and that's when we need to judge him. It's up to the players to actually step up to the mark and prove that they are proper professionals, in my opinion, on this one. Pre-season Pirlo can't get in the Fulham starting 11 at the moment, says Stephanie. Rumours that he was going to be sold back to Brazil and we were going to get a bit of a chunk of the sell-on fee as well on what he was sold for from Fulham. So that's interesting. But Fulham have got a very, very good team. So not taking them lightly one bit in all of this. Red Baron says, which talking point did you take from that? Oh, sorry, talking to someone else. I need a style of play. I need a style of play today. I need to see a style of play, probably was supposed to say there, MA. Consistent patterns of attacking play, tired of us seeing us oof it from the back 3. I don't think you're going to see that. I don't think we can expect to see that. Nothing's going to change from what we've been seeing over the last few weeks. Definitely not. United fans are being made a mockery. Rangers fans getting into the home stands and being made to play in London at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night. I know. It's sad, isn't it? All for the TV. This Dorgu transfer, in my opinion, says to me that Ruben Amorim won't even consider Alvaro Fernandez. He does not want him. Am I wrong? You're probably not. The opportunity was there and it was an easy transfer to get done. Højlund development has been damaged from being a main striker since he came. He should have been someone's apprentice. If you get me, yep, he should have been a number 2. He was never a number 1. Nick says, Monday morning blues, unfortunately. Hopefully not. Every game is a must-win, always for United, never more than now. Don't see it as I'm in Thailand for the winter, which for the last few years has been a godsend, as I'll be in Kip. It means he doesn't have to watch United. He can just look at the result when he wakes up, probably. Anyone seen Lingard videos dancing to the fans at his club? Embarrassing. It's perfect for him. If United are upping the bid for Dorgu, they will sell Garnacho to the highest bidder, even if it means to Chelsea. Andrew, they're not selling Garnacho for Dorgu. Like the Athletic have said, they can make the Dorgu deal happen without PSR concern. They have got money for that deal. So that's nothing to do with Garnacho. But I still feel like they are going to sell Garnacho to Chelsea for the highest bidder on that side of it. So you do have a point on that. But it doesn't affect Dorgu. And United will still go for that deal. And I said this morning, even if United don't sell Garnacho, they're still going to go for the loan deals that they can possibly bring in as well. Because we do need options. Like, if you looked at Manchester United's forwards now, like, even if you were moving them on, Yeah, I can understand that. But even if they stayed, you still need more because we haven't got enough. We haven't got nowhere near enough. I can't see us winning at Fulham today. They can go 8th if they win. It's not just the fact. It's not just the fact that the statue is black in. Statue is black in goal again. Oh God, back in goal again. I mean, we don't know yet. We don't know if Baynday's in yet, Mr Dacia Sandero or Anana. I hope he puts Baynday in. It doesn't help us, of course, and doesn't help our cause that they are strong right across their team. They are a good team, Fulham. But Anana definitely isn't going to help Manchester United today. I've given up on Anana ever being the man to take Manchester United forward. You all know that already anyway, so I'm not too concerned right now, or more concerned about what might come. I already know what's coming. It's just if United can score goals, which is why I wanted to start with the front line today in this team. I would still play Toby Collier in the middle as well, by the way. There's a lot of people today saying play Ericsson. And I get it. He did all right against Rangers. And he has done well on this ground before as well. I think he scored his first goal for United at Craven Cottage, in fact. I was actually at the game. So that's an interesting one as well. Agate, Mainu rested. Agate rested. You're going to put him in, aren't you? It's going to be Mainu and Agate, I think, but I would still play Collier. I think his energy is definitely... I think the more games he plays, the better he will become. I would love to see Toby Collier in that lineup today. I don't think he's going to go with it, though. Just simply down to Ruben Amorim rotation anyway. I don't think we're going to see Toby Collier 100%, but I think it's Mainu and Agate. So, my front three would be Bruno, Zirkzee and Højlund. Then we're going Mainu and Agate. I think we're going to have Ahmad on the right-hand side, and we're going to have Dalot on the left as the wing-backs. 1 second, I think I've got a sneeze. Oh, chew. Bless me. And then you're back three. Who are we doing? Back three. Now, we know that De Ligt and Yoro have both travelled, so that's good. So, options are there for United. So, when we look at that now, Maguire, does he stay? Does Maguire stay? I mean, he dropped to Clanger against Rangers, but was all right past that. He should have scored his header. And 2 big impactful moments, actually, for Harry Maguire in that game. Yeah. What am I going with? Do you know what? I'm going to go with... I think we need to keep playing Lenny Yoro. We need to adapt. I'm going to put Yoro in. I'm putting De Ligt and Maguire. I'm resting out Martinez again. I'm not saying anything against Martinez, by the way. I'm really not. But I just feel like set pieces were better with Maguire, De Ligt. I'm not saying necessarily Yoro's better in the air than what Martinez is. I think he attacks it more aggressively there anyway than what Yoro does, and I think he makes up for that size difference in the way that he approaches the game and the way that he does go into challenges. But he has been found wanting on set pieces desperately. So I'm just trying to keep United in the game today, and set pieces has undone us in all of these types of games in the past, and we know that we are the second. We are second top in conceding goals from set pieces this season, United. So I'm just trying to think of the best way for United to actually get through this game. Small pitch at Fulham, one of the smaller pitches, so we're not going to get burned for pace. And to be honest, I think we put that myth of De Ligt and Maguire playing together and worrying about pace to bed anyway when we played the likes of City and Arsenal. So I'm not concerned about that, really. So, yeah, I would go Yoro, De Ligt and Martinez. Yoro, De Ligt and Maguire. That would be my back three. I would go with them. And then I would have Bayindir in goal. I think he deserves his spot in goal. I think he was solid against Rangers. Kept United in the game when we needed to. Dealt with some awkward crosses. Definitely learnt from his error and his blunder against Tottenham in that game. And I think he's really moved forward. I think he's moved forward from that moment. He had a shaky start against Arsenal, but then grew into the game and had his moments, won United the game. I think they're the moments that change players' careers, and I think we need to jump onto Bayindir now and then get behind him. I think that's where United are at. And Anna, I'm sorry, you're going to have to be a number 2. You're a number 3 in my eyes anyway, because I still think Tom Eaton's better than him. And it will always kill me to think that we have got better keepers that are on the bench than we have actually on the pitch. So, don't get me wrong, he's probably a great character around. He is like a barrel of laughs, I'm guessing. Andre Onana, I mean, great in the dressing room, but I don't care. I want the best team out there on the pitch. And the best team is without Andre Onana in it. It's with Bayindir in it right now. And if you're going to go with form, you're going to go with players that are doing better, you have to look at that in the goalkeeping area as well. I think that's something we can judge Ruben Amorim on, actually. Like, we haven't got a lot to go on him with the players that he's got. He's doing a lot, he's changing a lot, and the players are letting him down. But one thing we can say is, look what Andre Onana has done, and look what Bayindir has done. Yes, Bayindir made a mistake in that Spurs game and cost us the game probably. But look what he's done since then. And look what Onana's done. So I'm calling Ruben out if he picks Andre Onana today. He knows what he is. And I think he knows that Bayindir is safer hands in goal. So why would you pick Andre Onana? I won't get that. But that's something I will question if Ruben does play Onana over Bayindir again. Because Bayindir needs to be in goal. He needs to we desperately need him in goal over Onana. And that, for me, he definitely is my team. What are we saying, everybody? Get into the comment section. Tell me, I've just put 20 quid on us to win. Guaranteed loss now. Reverse psychology, mate. Put it on Fulham and then United will win and you'll lose your money. You're actually paying United to win. That's how you do it. I don't know where's the right number because there's 23 keepers I would rather have. Andrew says Onana should be dropped for at least 5 games. At least should be swapping and dropping the keepers all the time. Onana is erratic and top heavy for my liking. I hope we sell him in the summer. I think a few people would back you on that one, mate. Glenn with another super chat. Thank you, Glenn. I really appreciate that, buddy. Until we have wing-backs putting multiple crosses and cutbacks into the box per game, we can't really judge Rasmus' movement. Gyökeres gets a lot of tap-ins. Yeah, but Rasmus has missed some sitters, mate, as well. He has missed some sitters this season as well. So we can judge Rasmus Højlund because we can touch him on his hold-up play. Because that is needed in this system. Gyökeres did it well for Sporting and for Ruben back in Portugal. Zirkzee can do it. Rasmus can't. So we can judge him on that. We can judge him in his basic overall game. And his finishing isn't clinical enough. Neither is Joshua Zirkzee's. It's not. So we need another striker no matter what. And both of them are number 2 strikers. We know this. They may flourish with a bit more competition. At the moment, they're both looking like the most awkward number 9s in Manchester United's history. Because they aren't clinical enough. And we know they're not clinical enough. We know they're not good enough to be holding that number 9 position down on their own. So, yeah, I think we can start judging Rasmus on his basics of his game, which are not up to scratch. He's too easy to play against for me. And Joshua Zirkzee, he's not much better, don't get me wrong, but at least he's got that element of unknown about him. Well, I think he is better on the ball. He isn't as quick, but he can damn sight hold the ball up better than what Rasmus Højlund can. And if we're looking to link our better players, and say, for instance, you've got an informed Garnacho going into this game, and he's feeding off Zirkzee, I would prefer it to be Zirkzee and Garnacho working together. Or Ahmad, even if Ahmad's in the front 3, and he does go with Dalot and Mazraoui at wing-back, then you're looking at that. I think in that actually, I've actually left Mazraoui out there, haven't I? I've messed up a little bit in my team. I've just realised. So yeah, I said Ahmad and Dalot. So I would have Mazraoui, Maguire, and De Ligt at the back 3. That's what I would do. I'd have Ahmad on the right and Dalot on the left as the wing backs. I'd have Mazraoui in the back 3. Then it's Ugarte and Mainu, and then your front 3 for me would be Bruno, Zirkzee and Rasmus, just for mixing it up. I know I just said then, like Zirkzee working off of with Garnacho. I'm just using the example of hold-up play. If, for instance, you was going to today be looking at Zirkzee or Rasmus Højlund as the number 9, I would prefer Zirkzee in a 10 and then see how Rasmus also does with Zirkzee in the same side, because they haven't started a game together. I think I'm pretty certain in saying that that's correct. It'd be interesting to see how them two actually link up. So I feel like we're in a position now where, you know what, we've got the chance to give other things a go. Let's go see, and let's see what Ruben does today. I think it will be the obvious. I think we're probably going to see Buddy Garnacho win anyway, and I'll be wrong with that. But look, Either way, these players are going to have to do a lot more than what they have been doing recently. And that's, I feel, is the most important thing from this. The fans are looking. And let's not forget, this time last season in this fixture, it was the famous banner in the away end at Fulham. Play like you mean it. So let's see if we get that again today. I don't mean the banner, but obviously, hopefully this is something, being at this ground, that these players will be reminded of. And they demand from the fans wanting more. I think this is crucial. This is massive for Manchester United now. Anyway, you'd let Marcus back in, mate. Goal threat. He's not a goal threat. That's the thing. I wouldn't let him back in at all. No, never. It's undermining the manager. It's going back on everything and everything he's worked for so far. I think you're basically sacking Ruben Amorim if you bring Marcus Rashford back into this side. That's how I see it. He needs to go. Just get rid of him. I don't want him back. I don't want him back. He's had chance after chance after chance. Graham, who's a moderator and has been a member on the channel for a long time, sent me a great clip from Troy Deeney talking about Marcus Rashford and how he's just tiptoed through getting away with things his whole career. And now you're getting all of the PR stuff coming out saying that Marcus Rashford's training hard. And Troy Deeney's like, well, that's your staple. That's your standard. That should be a given on what money you're on and where you're actually playing. That should be a given. Shut up with social media. Don't do any social media and give it 18 months of you just working behind the scenes and training, because that's how long it's going to take for this fan base to forgive you. It's going to take that long. It's not going to go away in 6 months. The fans won't forgive you unless you knuckle down, forget about all your PR and lifestyle crap. If you are fully invested in Manchester United, then you'll train for 18 months. And I completely agreed with him on that one, in what Troy Deeney said. He was bang on the money. The fans are not going to forgive in such a short space of time. It's going to take a lot longer if he did come back. And he definitely doesn't walk right back into this team. I actually think that Rashford knows he's not going to play if he stays at United now. And this is why we're talking about what we was yesterday when we talked about the pay cut. And then this morning about what Barcelona are doing. I think things are moving in this transfer. And United are desperately trying to. And even like David Ornstein said, they're the ones that are triggering this. They're the ones that are pushing Marcus Rashford out. They don't want him at Manchester United. It's as simple as that. That would be pointless in bringing him back, says Ewan. People laughing at the fact that you said goal threat there, mate. No, I'm not laughing, honestly. We are desperately looking for goals, and you look at any option. Look, Rashford is our all-time leading goal scorer right now in this squad, and you can't hide away from that. But over the last 18 months, nobody is relying on Marcus Rashford to get you anything impactful or goal-wise in this team. Definitely not. Peter says Rashford has... Where's that gone there? Sorry. Rashford has got to be taught that many clubs wanted him. Now he knows it's not true. He knows he has to go. He has to make it happen, in other words, Peter. Mr. Dacia Sandero says, it's not something that we have tried, Adam, from the start. Xerxes and Rasmus Bayende may not be long-term answer, but he has to be in for at least 5 games straight to be sure he is better than Onana. Give him a chance, mate. Yeah, give him a chance. A couple more super chats in. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. You got Roz for the first one. Says, too many players at this club have been doing whatever they wanted in terms of applying themselves in training, collecting huge wages, falling out with managers, then outlasting them. Amorim stops it. He most certainly does, mate. Great super chat. Thank you, buddy. Glenn with the next super chat says, I agree about the hold-up play. I don't agree chance conversion, as he has one of the best in the league and was getting praise for it until recently. I don't even think he was. Like, conversion rate is conversion rate. People have put the ball in the box and he's not been in the right positions for it. I don't think people are looking at that. So when he does make that one right run, it looks like his conversion rate is good. And it's really not. He should be doing more. This is what I say about stats, and where you're not wrong, Glenn. You're dead right in terms of conversion rate. But think about how many more chances he should be creating for himself. Think of all them balls that have gone into the box that he's not there for. He gets the chances. And to be honest, big chances, like the Liverpool one springs to mind. You've got to be putting that in. That has to go in. Simple as that. And then, like, I've said it again, like, he's in these positions, and because he's not in the right position, it looks like his conversion rate is better than what it is, but he should be having more chances. He isn't in that spot where he should be all of the time. That's all I'm saying on it. But you're right in what you said about the conversion rate. It's there to be talked about. I just feel like it's slightly misleading to the situation. And I think he needs to be doing more off the ball. I really do. I think he needs to be in better areas. He needs to be quicker. Get the ball at feet. Forget about fighting with the defender. Forget about the strength side of it. Get the foul. Go to the floor. Be clever. Lay the ball off. Run. Turn in behind. He's one of the fastest players in Manchester United's side, but I never see him sprinting through. I never see him outpacing someone or scaring someone with his pace. He's always fighting with his back to goal. It's not his game. Get it, give it, lay it off and go. Just keep it simple. These things should be a given, but they're not. And I think that's why he's getting the criticism he is right now, because he's not doing the simple things. Thank you, everybody in the room as well. Again, make sure you get the likes in. We're creeping up to 200 likes. Almost around 1,000 in the room with us, which is fantastic for a warm-up show on a Sunday with a 7 o'clock kickoff in the evening, which is still strange now, even though I've seen it for about a week on the fixture list. I can't get used to 7 o'clock on a Sunday. It's ruined my evening completely. Let's hope that United don't completely ruin it by balls in this game up, shall we? Hopefully not. Well, get some score predictions in the chat as well, everybody. Please let me know what you think the score is going to be today. That's more important right now. Let's get some positivity going, hopefully. Let's see. I've not moved down on my scroll yet, so now you're putting all these scores in. I'm going to get bombarded with negative score lines, aren't I? I'm only joking. Oh, we'll see in a minute, won't we? Let's get through a few more. Veronica Griffith says, I can never forgive Rashford because he has put himself yet again before the fans, his teammates, and most importantly, what the history of this club and its memories we have get him out of this club. Andrew McLaughlin, thank you. 5 gifted memberships. Absolute legend, Andrew. Really appreciate that, buddy. We've got 5 new members on the stream again. Let's see these score predictions now, shall we? Where are we? Let's have a look. 2-1 United, says Vanessa. 2-1, we can compete. 2-0 United. There's 3 wins. 3 wins. That is a draw. And there's another draw from Andrew and from Ewan. 3-0 United, says Andy. Andrew Short's going with a draw. Positive, I was going with us losing 2-0. Guess has come in with the first defeat. Good old guess there, going real on it. Stu's going 2-0 United. Garner scores any time. That's his bet today. There's his tenner. 2-1 United, 2-1 United, 1-0. And we've only had 1 United defeat predicted scoreline. Block's gone 2-1 to Fulham. There we go. I've sort of tempted people in. But the majority of people have actually gone with a United win in this game, which I'm happy about. I like that. I like the positive vibes. I do. But, yeah, I mean, get your comments in when this video finishes live. Obviously, it's difficult to get the teams in on a live chat, so because it's too much to write. But drop your comments in when this video finishes its live with your team. Most importantly, give me who you would play up front. Are you going to change it up like I did? Are you sick of seeing the same things? Is it time we seen Xerxes and Rasmus together? Do we need to start changing things around a little bit? Who would you play in your front three? That's what I want to know from you in the chat and the comment section after this is finished. So please let me know on that one. But yeah, my prediction. I can't let you do it all, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go... This is going to be really boring. I'm going to go 1-1. No. I can feel myself taking the mick out of myself saying it. Oh, you sat on the fence, splinter ass. I know. I know this team now. I'm not going to get myself excited. I'm not going to go over the top. I'm going to put my real cap on and just say 1-1. And that's probably not a bad result for United at the moment. Stop the losing run again, please. Let's not start doing that against teams around us. Look, get a draw against Fulham, then beat Crystal Palace at weekend. Beat Steaua Bucharest. Then you're looking at Rangers, Fulham, Steaua, Palace. 3 wins out of 4. 1 draw against a tough opposition away from home. I think that's a pretty standard couple of weeks for United. And you know what? I'm taking it with 2 hands and gripping onto it tightly. Give me that all day. And a Sunday. Honestly, that's where I'm at right now with this team. That would be a positive right now. It's something to build off. And then you're heading into the February months then, with not as many games because Europe's finished. Obviously, we've got the FA Cup as well, but we've got big gaps in between games in February where we can now start working on things. I do hope there's more players in on that as well when we go into February when the transfer window is shut. But still, that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's what I'm going with. 1-1 today, but we'll win the 2 games this week in Europe and Crystal Palace at home next Sunday. I hope we win today, by the way. That's what I really do. But I will be back with the watch along later. One of the mods will drop the link in the chat right now for me, so you can click on it and join us for the watch along. Click on it. It's big up our platform where we will have actual goal highlights as well for the game. So make sure that you do jump across for the watch along later on, everybody. I will be on there, well, with everyone. Come on and talk to me. We have call-ins and everything on it as well. So if you've got something and you want to have a chat with me about the game or who it might actually be playing, or what score you think it's going to be, or how confident you are, or anything like that, please do get onto Big Up. The link is there in the live chat right now, everybody, pinned to the top. Massive thank you to all the contributors, again, of which there has been plenty. All of the mods and members helping out in the chats, as always. I love you all. Best community out there. Please subscribe to Forever United TV. Please make sure that you hit that bell notification button. Check out the other content from earlier on today. And I'll see you all for the game. We're going to be live from 6:45 this evening. I'm going to go watch Cavs play football now. Hopefully we can get off to a winning start today with that game, and then move into United, and United getting the 3 points at Craven Cottage. I pray and I hope. But yes, I will see you all later on, everybody. Enjoy your afternoon, enjoy the football, and I'll see you all this evening.